minutes earlier, and two other duck boats were near the end of the water tour and both exited around 1900. The picture on the screen, taken by a passenger, shows the condition of the lake a few seconds after Stretch Duck 7 entered. On a typical tour, the duck boats entered the lake from the entry ramp, transited about 1,000 feet into the lake, around an island known as Duck Island, and then turned towards the exit ramp, passing the showboat Branson Belle when it was moored at its facility. As the weather started to deteriorate on the evening of the accident, the captains of both Stretch Duck 7 and Stretch Duck 54 shortened their tours and headed directly for the exit ramp. On the screen, the track of the Stretch Duck 54 is seen in yellow on our map. This information was obtained from the vessel's GPS. The estimated track line of Stretch Duck 7 is seen in red and was calculated by NTSB using video analysis, since GPS data was not retrievable. The red triangle marks the location where the Stretch Duck 7 sank, just astern of their showboat Branson Belle. Just after 1900, the wind rapidly increased, building 3 to 5 foot winds from the north. Both captains closed their side curtains, and bilge alarms were heard on both duck boat vessels about 4 minutes after the wind speed increased. This photo was taken by a passenger aboard Stretch Duck 7 about this time. Both vessels headed for the exit ramp. The Stretch Duck 54 exited the lake at about 1907. The Stretch Duck 7 took on water, began listing to starboard, and sank about 1908. There were 17 fatalities and 6 injuries. The diagram on the screen depicts the seating arrangement on the evening of the accident. The figures are color-coded according to the level of injury. Red indicates fatalities, yellow, serious injuries, light gray, minor injuries, and dark gray, no injuries sustained. 4 days after the sinking, the Stretch Duck 7 was salvaged from Table Rock Lake from a depth of 85 feet and transported to a secure facility for inspection. The NTSB has investigated other accidents involving amphibious vessels. In particular, the Miss Majestic, which sank in Lake Hamilton near Hot Springs, Arkansas in 1999. Pictured is the Miss Majestic, which was salvaged in this photo. 13 passengers lost their lives when the Miss Majestic rapidly sank during a tour. The NTSB issued recommendations concerning reserve buoyancy and canopies, but these recommendations were not acted on. As a result of the Miss Majestic and Stretch Duck 7 sinkings, NTSB issued new recommendations in November of 2019 regarding reserve buoyancy, canopies, and side curtains. The safety issues that were identified in this accident, the sinking of Stretch Duck 7, were company oversight, engine compartment ventilation closures, reserve buoyancy, survivability, and Coast Guard oversight. Throughout the investigation, staff concluded that Stretch Duck 7's propulsion, steering, bilge system were not factors in the accident. Likewise, neither alcohol nor other impairing drugs were factors in the accident. This completes my presentation. At this time, the Meteorology Group Chairman, Michael Richards, will make his presentation.
Good morning, Chairman Sumwell and board members. I will be discussing the weather system that impacted Table Rock Lake on July 19, 2018. The storm system that ultimately impacted Stretch Duck 7 first developed about 7.5 hours prior to the accident time, about 400 miles away from the accident location. This mosaic of radar images in time depicts the progression of the storm that impacted Stretch Duck 7 from near its inception in northern Kansas, through Missouri, and into northern Arkansas. A severe thunderstorm watch is issued when thunderstorms producing hail 1 inch or larger in diameter and/or winds equal to or exceeding 58 miles per hour are possible. A watch was issued at 11:20 a.m. on the accident day for the accident area that described potential winds up to 75 miles per hour, scattered large hail, and tornadoes possible. A severe thunderstorm warning is issued when the watch issuance criteria are imminent or occurring. At 6:32 p.m., which was about 30 minutes prior to the accident, a warning was issued for the accident area. This warning advised of 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and specifically named Branson and Table Rock Lake as locations impacted. High winds first began impacting the accident location along a well-defined outflow boundary, seen here in this weather radar image from about 7 minutes prior to the accident time. The maximum wind gust reported near the accident site was 73 miles per hour observed about the accident time, as reported by an unofficial source. This image presents the radar depiction from the Ride the Ducks weather information vendor used primarily by the operator, and depicts conditions from about 5 minutes before the accident time. Staff believes on the day of the accident, the National Weather Service accurately forecasted and issued timely notifications of a severe thunderstorm that would impact the accident location. This completes my presentation. At this time, the Nautical Operations Group Chairman, Marcel Muse, will make his presentation.
Good morning, Chairman Sumwalt and board members. The Operations Group presentation will cover the company's weather monitoring, water entry procedures, company's actions, and the captain's actions. Given the accurate forecast and the availability of weather information, investigators sought to understand why the company did not suspend water operations as the storm approached. Ride the Duck's primary source of weather information